Life is war. Every single day you wake up to a battlefield, and the fight begins the moment your eyes open. Most people don't even realize it. They think life is supposed to be easy, that success is handed out, that comfort is the end goal. But the truth is, there's no easy way out, no shortcuts, no cheat codes, only discipline, struggle, and the will to fight through everything that stands in your way. Weak men crumble under pressure. They fold at the first sign of difficulty. They make excuses, justify their failures, and blame the world for their shortcomings. The strong ones, the winners, embrace the struggle. They take ownership of their reality, and instead of asking why life is hard, they use hardship as fuel. Pain is an ally. Suffering is a teacher. It's through these trials that champions are made. Most people don't want to hear this. They want motivation that feels good, words that inspire without demanding anything in return, but that's not how reality works. If you want to win, you need to get up and earn it. You have to outwork, outthink, and outlast every obstacle in your path. Success isn't a gift, it's a battle scar. It's the reward of relentless discipline, not fleeting motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Discipline is waking up when you don't feel like it. It's pushing harder when your body says stop. It's doing what needs to be done, not what's easy. Every man has a choice. He can be average or he can be great. He can sit around complaining or he can get up and take control of his destiny. The weak man looks at the strong and says, he's lucky. The strong man looks at himself and says, I will make myself so powerful that luck won't matter. Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. And there's always someone out there willing to put in more hours, more effort, more pain to get ahead. If you're not that person, you're already losing. Comfort is a killer. The moment you start seeking ease, you start dying inside. The second you believe you've made it, you've already fallen behind. Growth comes from discomfort, from pushing past limits, from refusing to settle. Your body wants rest. Your mind craves peace, but your soul knows the truth. Strength is built in the fire, not in the comfort zone. The man who understands this principle is dangerous. He's unstoppable. He doesn't rely on feelings, he relies on action. Society has lied to you. They've told you to take it easy, to be patient, to wait for the right moment. There is no right moment. There's only now. The clock is ticking, and every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Winners act while losers hesitate. Winners execute while losers dream. You can either be a spectator or a player in the game of life. The choice is yours, but understand this, there's no easy way out. No handouts, no guarantees. Just you, your will, and the fight ahead. Pain is temporary, but weakness lasts forever. Most people run from pain, but the ones who embrace it, who use it, who let it sharpen them, become unstoppable. The gym hurts, the grind hurts, sacrifice hurts, but so does failure, so does mediocrity, so does living a life of regret. If you think pain is the enemy, you're wrong. The real enemy is comfort, laziness, mediocrity, and the mindset that tells you it's okay to settle. It's not okay. It's never okay. Success isn't about luck. It's about refusing to quit when everyone else does. It's about finding a way when others see dead ends. It's about being willing to suffer more than the next man because you know deep down that's what it takes. Champions are not born. They are made in the trenches. They are forged in adversity. Every great man in history has endured pain beyond imagination. They've suffered, been knocked down, laughed at, ridiculed, but they kept going when everyone else stopped. That's the difference. Your mind is your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. Most people let their minds control them. They listen to the doubts, the fears, the insecurities. They let their emotions dictate their actions. But the strong control their minds. They silence the inner voice that says, I can't, and replace it with, watch me. They understand that mindset is everything. If you believe you are weak, you will be weak. If you believe you are unstoppable, you will become unstoppable. Everything starts with belief, but belief alone is not enough. You have to back it up with relentless action. Discipline is freedom. It sounds contradictory, but it's the truth. The man who controls his urges, his habits, his time, is the man who is truly free. The weak man is a slave to his emotions, his impulses, his addictions, his distractions. He is ruled by comfort. The strong man disciplines himself so that nothing controls him. He dictates his own fate. He moves with purpose. He is a force of nature, not a leaf blown around by the wind of circumstance. Most people want success, but they don't want the process. They want the rewards, but not the work. They want the physique, but not the sweat. They want the money, but not the hustle. And that's why they fail. Because they're chasing the end result without committing to the path. The path is brutal, unforgiving, relentless. It will test you, it will break you, it will make you question everything. But if you endure, if you keep pushing, when everything in you wants to quit, you will come out on the other side transformed. Excuses are lies you tell yourself to feel better about quitting. There is always a way. There is always a solution. There is always a path forward. The weak say, I don't have time. The strong make time. The weak say, it's too hard. The strong embrace the difficulty. The weak say, I'm not lucky. The strong create their own luck. It's all mindset. It's all a choice. And at the end of the day, your life is the result of the choices you've made. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. It's on you. There will be times when you want to quit. Times when the pain feels unbearable. When doubt creeps in. When you question whether it's all worth it. That's the moment that defines you. That's the moment where winners are made. Most people quit when it gets tough. The strong dig deeper. They push past the breaking point. They refuse to surrender. Because they know that on the other side of that moment is everything they've ever wanted. Greatness isn't given. It's earned. And the price is everything you have. No easy way out. No shortcuts. No handouts. Just work. Just discipline. Just an unbreakable will. Most people will never understand this. Most people will never achieve greatness. But you don't have to be most people. You can choose to be different. You can choose to be relentless. You can choose to refuse mediocrity. Because at the end of the day, you either win or you lose. There is no in-between. And the only way to win is to embrace the fight, fully, completely, without hesitation, without fear. Every second is a chance to change your life, to rise above, to push harder, to go beyond what you thought was possible. But you have to take it. You have to be willing to pay the price. You have to understand that nothing worth having comes easy. There is no easy way out. There never was, and there never will be. The only way is through. The only way is forward. And the only person who can make it happen is you. Life is unpredictable, and the events that unfold each day are beyond our control. What is within our control, however, is our response to these events. The distinction between reacting and responding is one of the core principles of Stoic philosophy. To react is to allow external events to dictate our emotions and actions. To respond is to exercise conscious thought, rationality, and virtue before taking action. Training the mind to respond rather than react requires self-awareness, discipline, and the cultivation of a rational perspective. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, emphasized that our perception of events is more significant than the events themselves. Epictetus famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This idea is at the foundation of Stoicism. Events in life are neutral. It is our interpretation that assigns them meaning, often creating unnecessary suffering. A person who reacts impulsively to a perceived insult, for example, may feel immediate anger and act in a way that worsens the situation. A person who trains their mind to respond, on the other hand, recognizes the fleeting nature of the insult and chooses not to be disturbed. The power of responding instead of reacting begins with self-awareness. Without awareness, a person is at the mercy of their impulses and emotions. Training the mind requires observing one's thoughts and feelings without immediately acting upon them. This can be achieved through practices such as journaling, mindfulness, and reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote extensively about his thoughts and emotions, using his journal as a tool to understand his own mind. By engaging in daily self-examination, one can identify patterns of reactivity and gradually replace them with more measured responses. Emotional control is another essential aspect of responding instead of reacting. The Stoics advocated for a form of emotional detachment, not in the sense of suppressing emotions, but rather in mastering them. When emotions arise, rather than being overwhelmed by them, one should pause and analyze their origin. Are they based on reality or mere assumptions? Are they useful or harmful? By questioning emotions in this way, one gains a clearer perspective and can choose how to act in alignment with reason. One of the most effective techniques for developing a responsive mindset is the practice of negative visualization. The Stoics often contemplated worst-case scenarios to prepare their minds for adversity. Seneca suggested that imagining loss, hardship, or misfortune in advance makes one more resilient when difficulties arise. This practice does not encourage pessimism, but rather fortifies the mind against emotional turmoil. If one is prepared for all possible outcomes, they are less likely to react irrationally when faced with unexpected challenges. Another critical element in training the mind is the understanding of the dichotomy of control. This Stoic principle states that there are things within our control and things outside our control. The only aspects truly within our control are our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. External events, the actions of others, and circumstances are beyond our control. By focusing only on what can be controlled, one reduces frustration and unnecessary suffering. When confronted with a difficult situation, instead of reacting emotionally, one should ask, what part of this is within my control? By directing energy toward what can be changed and accepting what cannot, a person develops a calm and composed mind. Training the mind to respond instead of react also requires patience and the willingness to embrace discomfort. Modern life encourages instant gratification and quick judgments, often leading to reactive behavior. However, wisdom comes from deliberate thinking and restraint. When faced with a challenging moment, taking a deep breath, counting to 10, or walking away momentarily can make a significant difference. These small acts create space between stimulus and response, allowing one to choose their course of action instead of being dictated by emotion. The practice of voluntary discomfort is another Stoic technique that strengthens mental resilience. Seneca advised deliberately exposing oneself to small hardships, such as sleeping on the floor or fasting, to develop a mindset that does not fear discomfort. This training makes a person less likely to react emotionally when facing actual difficulties. If one is accustomed to discomfort, they are less likely to panic or overreact when life presents challenges. Maintaining perspective is crucial in developing a responsive mind. Many of the situations that cause reactive behavior are trivial in the grand scheme of life. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the insignificance of many of his worries by contemplating the vastness of time and the universe. When something upsetting happens, asking, will this run a week, a month, or a year, can help put things into perspective. Recognizing the impermanence of most situations reduces the impulse to react emotionally. Another important Stoic practice is practicing gratitude. A reactive mind often focuses on what is lacking, what is wrong, or what is frustrating. A responsive mind, on the other hand, finds value in what is present. Expressing gratitude for even the smallest things, health, a kind word, a moment of peace, shifts the mind toward a more rational and composed state. Gratitude reduces the tendency to react impulsively to minor inconveniences and fosters a mindset of contentment and resilience. Surrounding oneself with like-minded individuals also plays a role in cultivating a responsive mindset. If one is constantly surrounded by people who react emotionally to every situation, it becomes difficult to develop restraint. Seeking the company of those who value rational thinking, patience, and wisdom can reinforce one's commitment to responding rather than reacting. The Stoics believed in the power of mentorship and learning from others, as wisdom is often best acquired through experience and example. Training the mind to respond rather than react is not an overnight process. It requires consistent practice and the willingness to fail and learn. Each moment presents an opportunity to improve, and every challenge is a chance to exercise patience and wisdom. By internalizing Stoic principles, one can develop a mind that is not easily shaken by external events. Over time, responding rather than reacting becomes second nature, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Ultimately, the ability to respond instead of react grants freedom. It liberates a person from being controlled by emotions, external circumstances, and the opinions of others. It allows for thoughtful decision-making, deeper relationships, and a sense of inner tranquility. In a world full of chaos and unpredictability, the Stoic way of measured response provides a timeless path to wisdom and strength. By continuously practicing self-awareness, emotional regulation, and rational thinking, one can master the art of responding with intention rather than reacting with impulse.